All right, we took care of business in the opening round against the Washington Wizards in 5. But now we go on to the second round, the Eastern Conference semifinals against the Atlanta Hawks. Now, there's still a few questions that remain. Will Joel Embiid be able to play? Will the Sixers step up without Joel Embiid? How will they fare against Trae Young? I'm about to break it down. You want to hear content about the Philadelphia Eagles and the Philadelphia 76ers? That's straight to the point, no nonsense, no over-the-top shenanigans. Say what we got to say and keep it moving. Then you made the right choice coming to Nikki Steve's channel, so stay tuned. All right, this time around, we playing the Atlanta Hawks in the second round. Now, obviously, the Hawks are a better team than the Washington Wizards. We played the Hawks 3 times during the regular season. We won 2 out of the 3 games. First time we lost them, we had a bunch of players out, the COVID issues, and Ben Simmons was out the knee injury in that game. But we did win the other 2 games in that 3 games in the regular season. That last game, that 126-104 victory. And we also had in that game, Dwight Howard, too, stepped up with 19 points and 11 rebounds, showing that he can contribute as a good rotational bench piece against the Hawks. We know Dwight Howard can contribute against the Hawks, and we do know that we can beat them. But however, we beat him a couple times with Joel Embiid. Well, there's a good chance with Embiid's injury that we could end up seeing him miss a few games in the series, or possibly worst case scenario, injure it worse, which I hope doesn't happen, but let's be realistic about it. It could happen. So, and as we know, we could be very well talking about a series without Joel Embiid or with limited play from Joel Embiid. Even Tobias Harris said we have to prepare for a series against the Hawks without Embiid. That's just the nature of the beast. That came from an NBA.com article. I'll put the link to that article in the description box if you want to read it, you want to read the whole quote or read the whole article. Feel free to help yourself. But the point being is, though, the Sixers are prepared for the possibility of having to play some games without Joel Embiid. It's a realistic possibility we have to face. So I'm going to run through a few keys to victory for the Sixers if Joel Embiid doesn't play. Well, for one, Ben Simmons needs to play well. He's supposed to be the number 2 guy on the team. And last night in that game, 19 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists. He did that in Game 5 last night against the Wizards. Now, he needs to do more of the same against the Hawks, especially if Joel Embiid's going to miss a few games. He needs to step up and be the guy. So that's one key right there. Another key, Tobias Harris needs to be productive on offense, which he has been this whole season. He was last night with 28. Another key, Seth Curry as the X factor. We saw last night against the Wizards, he put up 30 points. A lot of the things they did well last night, they're going to have to also do against the Hawks to win some games against them. Dwight Howard needs to play well too. And like I said, in their victory, he had 19 points and 11 rebounds, that 126-104 victory I'm referring to. So that shows he can step up. So those are some keys to victory that the Sixers have to pull out if Joel Embiid isn't able to play. And it's also keys to victory I know they can pull out. They've done it before, both in regular season games and the Game 5 against the Wizards. Now, there's some keys the Sixers are going to need to use to victory regardless, with or without Embiid. Well, one is obviously shut down Trae Young. And yes, defense does matter. Even in a much more offensive-friendly NBA, defense still matters. You already got Ben Simmons. I mean, I have my concerns at whether or not he's going to play as well as he should on offense consistently. I know he can, but I just have my doubts on whether or not he's actually going to follow through on it. But one thing about Ben Simmons we do know is that he can play defense on a consistent basis. We also got to rely on Matisse to play defense. It's like Matisse is going to be the one called on to shut down Trae Young. So we're going to need Matisse to shut down Trae Young. Worst case scenario, contain him, reduce his point totals if you have to, but definitely either contain or shut down Trae Young and keep Clint Capela out of the perimeter. Keep him out of the perimeter and produce mismatches is another key to victory, to keep the Hawks scoring down or reduce the Hawks from scoring more points. Obvious one is stay healthy, okay? Everyone else has to stay healthy. You know, Tobias, Ben, Tyrese, Matisse, Seth, Danny Green, all those guys need to stay healthy. Another key is, I've alluded to this, but everyone needs to bring their A game. I alluded to it earlier that Ben needs to be productive on offense. Tobias needs to play at his best like he's been doing. Dwight Howard needs to show up. But all these guys need to show up. Everyone needs to show up and bring their A game, period. And the last key, use home court advantage to your advantage. Okay, we got games 1 and 2 at home. Can use those to our advantage. We play at our best when we're at home. We definitely got to take advantage of it. just like we did last night, like we got to do to start this series off. These are my keys to victory for the series. Be prepared for games without Embiid. Be prepared to shut down Clint and Trae Young. Obviously, everyone needs to bring their A game. Need to stay healthy and use home court advantage to our advantage. So we got game 1 on Sunday, 1 p.m. at the Wells Fargo Center. Definitely see what happens there. I'll be definitely catching the game. If I can't catch all the game, I'll catch parts of the game, definitely to cheer on the Sixers. Might make a video about that, but we'll see. I'm definitely good. I definitely feel the Sixers can pull it out, though, although the Hawks are a tougher opponent than the Wizards. If we have to play a few games without Embiid, they could win a few games on us. But even without Embiid, I know this team can play, and when prepared to do so, they can step up and get the job done. Depending on whether Embiid plays or not, this could go somewhere between 5, maybe 7. But I definitely think we'll get the dub on this series. We'll move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. I believe the Nets are going to go through the Milwaukee Bucks, and we'll be playing the Nets in the Eastern Conference Finals. So that's how I see it going down. You guys let me know in the comment section what you think is going to happen in this series. What are your keys to victory? If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, do so and hit that notification bell and drop a like to show your support for the channel. And most of all, have a wonderful day or night to everyone watching. Nicky Steve signing off, and I'll see you next time. For more content like that about the Philadelphia 76ers, make sure you hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new vid.